Ooh, boy. Mm. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. The weekend is done, and in fact, I'm going to go to bed a little bit early tonight. I'm actually excited because going back down to work on the red brick house for a couple of days, we'll be doing our live stream from the red brick house, and I'm working on doing a couple of new things for you guys. We're a month away from the draft, and the hotel we're staying at is about 2.25 miles away from the draft itself. And the thing is, hold up, better get my battery because I'm low on power here. I have learned that when this thing tells you it's low, that my ass keeps talking and then the battery dies. Okay. It's like from 15 to 0. Okay, so when you're dealing with the NFL, if it's behind the gates, and the draft is one of those things that they have a security perimeter and things that you have to get your bags checked when you go through, I believe the clear bag situation is in where you can only have a bag that's only so big. And so I have my portable studio set, which is a laptop that has this backing for it that's 2 more screens that folds up real thin. Then I have a little mixer, I've got the microphones, I got the webcam, and then I got the backup battery. And it's actually a little, I mean, it fits in a backpack, but it's got a little bit of weight to it. And if we're gonna have to hike, because I'm betting that us leaving from the hotel and trying to drive that 2.25 miles, you're not finding parking. You're not finding parking. So we may be better off just doing the 2-mile hike to the draft. 2 miles is not much. Me and my wife do 2 miles a day, just about every day anyway. So, I'm good. So I'm trying to figure out, I've got my studio here. I've got 3 different sets and stuff that are here. I got my portable one that I use when I'm down in the country there, working on the red brick house. I'll be using it tomorrow night. But I'm trying to figure out how I can go guerrilla style, which is what Martin, the photographer we had back in 2012, would call it when you were just going real light. You know, he's a photographer, and he would be like, you know, you're going guerrilla style, which means you're roughing it. And so I got another little mic mixer that's like an interface. So I have that. I've got my cell phone, because the cell phone, quite frankly, you know, digitally takes great pictures. So I can get a small stand for that. With this mic mixer, I can plug it into the phone and have a couple of mics hooked up. So I just need to have the mics and 2 small mic stands, and I'm ready to, boom, rock and roll. And so that's my thought here, is how I can make a very light system to be able to go. Oh, and I've got a little tablet, little Samsung S6. So I can use the tablet as my monitor to actually see the comments. I've got my cell phone like I have right here, ready to go. And I have that little piece, that little interface that I'll plug into the cell phone, which could have 2 microphones in it because it has the phantom power. In which case, then we're only talking about a cell phone, a tablet, 2 microphones, some cables, and that interface. All that could fit into that little clear bag that they say for the NFL. In which case, then we could broadcast as long as we have a cell signal. Oh, and I do have a block that is actually a hotspot. But again, it works off the cell towers. So depending on what they do with the cell service, if the NFL does like, say, San Francisco, where you can upload a 15-minute video in like 2 seconds, or if it's like FedEx Field, where you can't get a damn signal the whole freaking game. We just don't know till we get there. But I have to say, I know Game Time is excited as can be. I know David Wiley is excited as can be. I know DMV is excited. And Phil, he's literally bouncing off the walls right now. So we've come to the conclusion that the NFL is now following the New England Patriots model. New England, for a while there, of course, they had a great quarterback, which trumps everything. One of the things New England did was they didn't overpay for free agents. They got guys that could play roles in certain amounts of time. They realized it wasn't about having 8 or 9 great players that are highly paid. It was about having about 25, 30 guys that were almost interchangeable. They realized that me breaking the bank and signing a long-term deal with most of these players was a losing proposition. So it's better to trade them while they have value and get something in return, or let them go in free agency and give you a comp pick. We used to see on a regular New England win the Super Bowl and yet have 12 draft picks the next year. They used to trade all the time with the Cleveland Browns because Cleveland always was having high draft picks, so they were more valuable than trading with a good team. And it feels like the NFL, after last year's free agency frenzy, where everybody literally was just like, let's get that great quarterback, or let's get that guy, and it doesn't matter how much we're paying for it, that their salary cap's kind of going out the kilter, that now teams are being restrained. That teams aren't looking to bust the bank. They're actually looking to develop their own players and add a few pieces here and there, but not overpay for them. It was interesting today because shout out to everybody who came in on the stream today, because I think we had like 14 people in on the Zoom call, which was fantastic. At this time of year. One of the things that Brian said was it was stupid for the Eagles to re-sign Darius Slay. But really, they really had no choice in the matter. Had they just released him, they were going to take a $22 million cap hit, which is insane. At least by getting him another contract, they cut that loss in half, so he's only $11 million hit, and they have the player. See, had they cut him, you now have a void, but you're paying like you're playing a premium player. At least redoing the contract saved you $11 million, and you didn't leave you a hole in there. And that's what teams, I think, are realizing, that when you make these big free agent signings, you basically have 2 years. After 2 years, it's like fish and company. They start to stink after a few days. Well, with free agents, it's after 2 years. Because by that point, that's when they cost a whole lot of money. And generally speaking, have kind of worn out their welcome. So we're seeing a evolution in the way the NFL is doing business. We'll see how it works out. I dare say the Cowboys have done good so far, but I don't want to overstate and get too cocky about the Cowboys right now, because I remember last year when teams were making moves, when Denver went out and they got Russell Wilson and ended up signing Randy Gregory, among other players, that they talked about how the NFC West, oh my God, it's a juggernaut. You got 4 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC in there. All of them are going to be playoff teams. Well, Denver was ass. The Raiders stunk. Kansas City, of course, won the Super Bowl. And the Chargers were kind of meh. So don't get too excited, and don't set the expectations up too high, because we signed a couple of players. There's still a long, long way and a lot left to the process before we can even start talking about playing games on the field, much less going all the way. Okay, good people. I am going to get my ass up and I'm going to go to bed and get up early so I can get down to the Red Brick House. We'll be live streaming at 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll see if there's any breaking news on the Dallas Cowboys of signing this player or that player or something. As always, you guys know how I roll. Thank you for being here and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. And remember to tell the people you love that you love them. You might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.